Good morning. This video is about Lucifer. If you believe what a lot of people believe, then you think Lucifer is Satan the devil, and that Lucifer was an archangel. Neither is true. Lucifer was one of the many kings of Babylon, but he was not a merciful king. He would not show his people any mercy or kindness. He subdued other nations in great anger and unrestrained persecution. When the king of Babylon was defeated, the prophet Isaiah told the Israelites to taunt the king of Babylon in this way. Depending on what Bible you study, it may say to take up this proverb against the king of Babylon. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 14, verses 1 through 4 and verify this. When the Lord will have compassion on Jacob, and again choose Israel, and sell them in their own land, then strangers will join them and attach themselves to the house of Jacob. The people will take them along and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel will possess them as an inheritance in the land of the Lord, as male servants and female servants. And they will take their captors captives, and will rule over their oppressors. And it will be in the day when the Lord gives you rest from your pain and your turmoil and your harsh services, in which you have been enslaved, that you will take up this taunt against the king of Babylon and say, how the oppressor has ceased, and how fury has ceased. So clearly, this is a taunt about the king of Babylon. The taunt begins at verse 4 and ends at verse 21. So let's read through them, verses 5 through 11. The Lord has broken the staff of the wicked, the scepter of rulers, which used to strike the people in fury with unceasing strokes, which subdued the nations in anger with unrestrained persecution. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into shouts of joy. Even the cypress trees rejoice over you, and the cedars of Lebanon saying, since you were laid low, no tree cutter comes up against us. Sheol from beneath is excited over you to meet you when you come. It arouses for you the spirit of the dead, all the leaders of the earth. It arouses all the kings of the nations from their thrones. They will all respond and say to you, even you have been made weak as we. You have become like us. Your pomp and the music of your harp have been brought down to Sheol. Maggots are spread out as your bed beneath you, and worms are your covering. Sheol is the realm of the dead, sometimes referred to as the abode of the dead or place of the dead. And sometimes the word Sheol and Hades are used interchangeably. Satan, the devil, is an invisible spirit being. Demons are invisible spirit beings. They don't have bodies. Again, this taunt is about the king of Babylon, who was flesh and blood, who did have a body. And when he was killed, the maggots were his bed, and worms were his covering. Also the taunt goes. And the taunt against the king of Babylon continues, verse 12. How you have fallen from heaven, O star of the morning, son of the dawn. You have been cut down to earth, you who have weakened the nations. Let's compare that verse to the same verse in the King James Bible. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? The King James Bible is the only Bible I found the word Lucifer in, and it's only used once in the King James Bible. The word Lucifer can mean day star, star of the morning, or shining one. At one time, the word Lucifer referred to the planet Venus as it appeared as a morning star. But Lucifer is not and does not refer to Satan the devil. Now, I did find a dictionary that said Lucifer was an archangel who was cast out of heaven. That cannot be true. Lucifer was not an angel, nor was he an archangel. The Bible only mentions one archangel, the Archangel Michael. The Bible does mention an angel named Gabriel, but the Bible does not say Gabriel was an archangel. And the taunt about the king of Babylon continues, verses 13 and 14. But you said in your heart, I will ascend to heaven. I will raise my throne above the stars of God, and I will sit on the mountain of assembly in the recesses of the north. I will ascend above the height of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High. Now those are things the king of Babylon boasted about doing in his heart. When he was killed, the Israelites were told to taunt the king of Babylon with those words. And the taunt continues, verses 15 through 21. Nevertheless, you will be thrust down to Sheol, to the recesses of the pit. Those who see you will gaze at you. They will ponder over you, saying, Is this the man who made the earth tremble, who shook kingdoms, who made the world like a wilderness, and overthrew its cities, who did not allow his prisoners to go home? All the kings of the nations lie in glory, each in his own tomb. But you have been cast out of your tomb like a rejected branch, clothed with the slain, who are pierced with a sword, who go down to the stones of the pit like a trampled corpse. You will not be united with them in burial, because you have ruined your country. You have slain your people. May the offspring of evildoers not be mentioned forever. Prepare for his son a place of slaughter, because of the iniquities of their fathers. They must not arise and take possession of the earth, and fill the face of the world with cities. Verse 21 is the end of the taunt. Verses 22 and 23 tells what the Lord of hosts will do to the offspring of the king of Babylon and to the cities of Babylon. I will rise up against them, declares the Lord of hosts, and will cut off from Babylon name and survivors, offspring and posterity, declares the Lord. I will also make it a possession for the hedgehog and swamps of water, and I will sweep it with a broom of destruction, declares the Lord of hosts. So who was Lucifer? Lucifer was a king of Babylon, but he was not a merciful king. He refused to let his prisoners go home. He persecuted his own people. When the king of Babylon was destroyed, the prophet Isaiah told the Israelites to taunt the king of Babylon in this way. In the taunt, the prophet Isaiah calls the king of Babylon the star of the morning and son of the dawn. Now the word Lucifer can mean day star, star of the morning, or shining one, but it is not and does not refer to Satan the devil. I encourage you to read and study the Bible from beginning to end and try to get a better understanding of God's word, the truth. The truth will not bind you. The truth will set you free. This is Bible studies. The truth is about to be told.